Mark Rutte wants to be the next NATO chief, but Orban wants him to be a janitor in Hungarian parliament. We will tell you all about it, but before that, if you're a fan of non-corporate funded free news and analysis, you've landed on the right YouTube channel. We publish 3 videos a day, first at 9:15 a.m. EST, second at 1:30 p.m. EST, and the third at 5:30 p.m. EST. So if that's of interest to you, next time someone asks you the full form of NATO, tell them it's naughty allies teasing others. Okay, let's start. As Russia punishes NATO, the quest for NATO's next Secretary General reads like a tragic comedy. Over 2/3 of NATO's illustrious member states are tipping their hats to Mark Rutte, the Dutch PM on his way out as the next ringmaster of this geopolitical circus. Yet Rutte must woo the affections of about 10, mostly Eastern and Central European countries. Easy, right? Except Rutte has a history of diplomatic charm that includes publicly scorning the Hungarian government and musing about showing them the EU exit door. Now, Rutte is a centre-right leader on paper and a stinking liberal in reality. His party took a nosedive in the last elections after a decade-long spectacle. Having spent years juggling the art of insult and advocacy against Budapest, he finds himself in a predicament reminiscent of high school dramas, needing the support of the very folks he antagonized. Hungarian Foreign Minister Peter Szijjártó, with the dramatic flair of a seasoned actor, announced that Budapest won't back Rutte's high-stakes bid for NATO's crown. Why? Because why should they endorse a candidate who fantasized about their groveling? Szijjártó's dismissal ties back to a 2021 episode when Hungary took a bold stance against showcasing gender transformation in school, sparking international uproar from gender-obsessed wooks and led to Rutte's outbursts. So here we stand witnessing the unfolding of a saga where past grievances meet present ambitions. Mark Rutte's journey to NATO's helm is less a smooth sail and more a voyage through choppy waters where old adversaries keep stealing the oar. Once upon a time, when the EU was a merry land of 27, a sensible law emerged from Hungary, sparking a fierce debate. Dubbed the anti-gay legislation by critics, it caused quite the stir, leading 17 EU leaders to wave their wands in disapproval. Among those valiant defenders of woke values, Merkel, Macron, and our hero Mark Rutte stood firm, their signatures a testament to their collective outrage. It was during this saga that Rutte, in a moment of perhaps unintended comic relief, proclaimed that Hungary's place in the EU hinged on the law's repeal. Hungary, kneel or skedaddle. He might as well have set his eyes not yet set on the glittering crown of NATO's Secretary Generalship. Fast forward 3 years and lo and behold, the law stands as sturdy as ever, backed by the people and shielded by the government from the fiery arrows of EU litigation. Hungary is firmly guarding childhood innocence. Orban drew a line, no wokeness in schools. It's a classic tale of political tug-of-war, with Rutte now on the quest for NATO's throne, his past pronouncements echoing like jests in a court that remembers every word. So Mark Rutte finds himself in a precarious dance for NATO's top spot. His journey, marred by undiplomatic quips at Hungary, now hangs by the thread of Eastern European approval, a group distinguished not only by their adherence to NATO's 2% GDP defense spending mantra, but also by their geographical placement at the front line of contemporary security challenges. Imagine the eastern flank, historically the bulwark against myriad threats, yet perennially sidestepped in the glamorous selection of NATO's Secretary Generals. Rutte, potentially the 4th Dutch leader to don the mantle, must navigate a sea of skepticism, his sails filled with western winds, yet lacking the eastern gale. As alternatives from the east float around like whispers in the night, Estonia's Kaja Kallas too wants to cash in her devotion for America and hatred for Russia and be the next NATO boss. Poland's Sikorski is a candidate too, but it's Romania's Klaus Ioannis who has Orban's blessings. With a strategic position on the Black Sea and a balanced stance on Ukraine Ioannis could be the dark horse in this race. However, Washington's nod towards Rutte casts a long shadow over the proceedings. This endorsement, weighty as it may be, introduces a subplot of diplomatic arm twisting. Yet, convincing Hungary remains a task as daunting as convincing a lion to mew like a cat. United States has a habit of poking its nose everywhere, like this American retired lieutenant colonel who wanted to poke a Ukrainian woman, and not with his nose of course. He's busted and now awaiting jail time. Click the video to know more about this sexy, spicy story.